Christmas and happy New Year. Well, it's not quite the New Year yet, but we're getting there. Yeah. Yep, Mike's good. We're good. And the thing about this New Year is that it is, well, I mean, it's 2025, obviously. But I mean, and I'm a highly spiritual guy. I mean, that's not something that people who listen to me at all, I mean, it's nothing new to anybody who listens to me. But something I don't talk a lot about is because I'm not real hip to the game. Well, I probably am, but it's like I'm not quite there yet where I'm prepared to talk about it that much. But this is, I can do this. So 2025 is a 9 year, and how you calculate that is you just break the numbers apart. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And that makes it a 9 year. And 9 is a very, very highly spiritual number. I mean, it's even like when, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, you must think in, really, actually, that's the completely other one. But anyway, he said, if you understood the power of 3, 6, and 9, then you would understand the universe. You would hold the key to the universe. So 9 is a very, very spiritual number. And I usually do a video on Wednesday, and tomorrow being Wednesday, January 1 of 2025, I am going to do that video. But right now, I'm like, I've kind of just started. I just did my first live stream Saturday, and I am now, I guess, going to be live streaming. I'm going to live stream on Saturday nights as tentatively, and then I'm going to also go with live streaming just as I feel like it, really. So, and I thought, well, this would be a good one, just kind of bring in the new year because, well, for one, the lovely Kitty is in bed. She has to be at work at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, we both work very, very early. We are truck drivers, so yeah, it's yeah. Well, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But I do not have to be at work tomorrow, so I'm up drinking tea, and I'm going to talk with you or whoever about 2025 and how it is very key to our spirituality. Because 2025, with it being a 9 year, 9 being the number of transformation, of completion, of letting go, things like that. But it's also when we kind of set ourselves up for new beginnings. But it's also for, for expansion and growth. So with the whole completion and letting go, we are, well, we have things that have been projects in our life. Now, be it physical projects or just things that we're kind of working on with ourselves or with relationships or whatever. When we're doing those things, it's like, well, at some point we have to realize that it's time. It's time to put this thing to bed. It's time to get, either finish it, or sometimes we just got to abandon it. Some tasks or some projects or whatever we have, we just abandon. We just say, I've invested too much time in this already, and I've really just got to let this go, right? This is just I just gotta let this go. For whatever reason, maybe it didn't work out. Okay, maybe it didn't work out as you had envisioned it. But then again, maybe that happened because you would not let go. I mean, I'm speaking from personal experience because I have had in the past. I'm working on it, but I've had in the past a bad habit of of starting a thing and then attaching too much to it, like meaning attaching too many conditions to it. Like if I set out to do one particular thing, and then it's like, well, so I'm going to put this thing out there, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to think of an example, but if I'm trying to manifest something and I put too many attachments on it, it's like, well, I'm not going. This is too. This in order for this to happen, that has to happen. In order for that to happen, this has to happen, and just too many moving parts, too much, too much control. I'm trying to have too much control over how, when, where, all that it will happen, and that's not how things work. I mean, yes, you do have to set some goals. You do have to give the universe a means of working in your life. Yeah, I mean, that's all possible. That's the problem with like the law of attraction. You know, I am not a, I'm not, I don't hate the law of attraction. But my problem with the law of attraction is that it does not go far enough. The law of attraction says, well, the law of attraction says that, if you vibrate correctly, meaning if you, well, I guess if you get your thoughts up, you get the positive thinking going. You get the positive thinking going, and then all of a sudden once you get the positive thinking going, then you get the feeling behind it. So now you've got your emotions going. Now that's an indicator of your vibration. If your vibration is a certain way, then if your emotions are a certain way, then that's an indicator of what your vibrational state is. I need to move this a little bit. I hope I don't mess anything up. I just realized my camera's not right on. That'll work. That's fine. Whatever. So anyway, but then we start, if you'll notice, then we start putting too many attachments on it. We start saying, well, this has to happen or that has to happen or whatever. And wait, I was talking about law of attraction. Jeez. That's why I get for letting the camera distract me. So anyway, but the problem is we do all those things, but we think, but the law of attraction teaches us that that's pretty much it. And you always hear the stories about so and so got a check in the mail for $20,000 or something like that, and it's like, I mean, I'm not saying those things don't happen. I'm not saying it cannot happen, but don't count on that. As a matter of fact, really, don't count on anything because you don't know how it's going to come. As soon as you start counting, oh, well, that check's going to come in the mail for $20,000. No, it's not. Because you just attach conditions on your prosperity. Put conditions on financial abundance. You can't do that. I mean, you just can't. I mean, it's like I drive trucks. Okay, I'm a truck driver. Okay, I'm also a podcaster, and I've got other things that I'm doing, right, to do with sobriety and stuff. I'm writing a memoir about my time in active addiction. I'm doing all these things that could possibly bring abundance into my life. Now, abundance isn't always money because really, and it's like I've said before many times, your higher self or your higher power even, which is not always the same thing. In fact, to me, it's not the same thing, but whatever. Your higher power would be God or, the creator. Your higher self would be your higher self, your you, but your spiritual form, the one that's outside of the construct and is living this experience through you, your body, your avatar, in this physical world. And if you see smoke, I've got incense burning. I know that in the past I've had some crazy stuff go on there, but well, I've got a couple of videos where there was definitely something, I guess, paranormal going on. And I'm not really into that paranormal stuff, but I mean, it was there. We've got it on video. It's not really anything that can be denied. And it did happen. So that's fine. Whatever. I mean, that's cool. But anyway, but we can't attach conditions onto it because it's like, first of all, your higher self doesn't care about stacking money in a bank. It just doesn't. It's like, I'm not here for that. That's not an experience. That's not growth. That's not gaining wisdom. That's not gaining insight. So, what is gaining insight? What is gaining any of that? What is growth? What is any of those things? Well, that would be experiences. Having experiences where you learn something new about yourself, about someone else, where you build a relationship, just where you, I mean, even travel and seeing this beautiful creation, right? Now, do I believe that we live in an artificial construct? Kinda. I mean, just straight up, I kind of do. I'm not fully there yet. I'm not like with the whole computer simulation crowd. I'm not. But I don't disagree with them either. So. But that doesn't even matter. Because what does matter is that this construct that we live in is beautiful. It is. So, explore it. I mean, and I've talked about that too in the past about how diverse it is, from how beautiful things can be to also how horrific things can be. I mean, there's so much polarity in duality in this life. I don't think we can escape it. I don't think we can get away from those things because, I mean, when you have that contrast, the contrast gives you something to compare to, gives you something to learn and grow from. And the contrast is, well, I mean, that's kind of what makes everything what it is. Meaning, or what you gain from it, what you're able to gain from it. Meaning, you can't know hot without cold. You can't know up without down. So whenever you have that duality, when you have those extremes, you can tell beauty from horror. You can tell love from fear because you've experienced them. But then when we gain a deeper understanding of it, that's when we can truly learn and grow from it. But how that pertains to law of attraction, I know you probably thought I forgot to go there. No, I did not forget that. I'm still coming back to that. But how it pertains to that is, it's like your higher self is here for a reason, and that is not to just acquire stuff. Because anything that we acquire in this realm, if you prefer that term, anything we acquire in this realm, and I mean anything, meaning even every single atom that makes up that body of yours, is staying right here when you leave. It's staying right here inside this, dare I say it, simulation. Or this construct of the mind of the all. But I'm not going to get into that right now because that would be getting off the subject. So when you're trying to manifest things, and I don't even like using that word, but It does fit. It's a good word for that. But when you're trying to manifest things, manifest experiences, manifest events in your life, manifest things that are going to cause you to learn and grow and gain wisdom and gain just all of that. Because when you do those things, that's when you will your higher self will be a lot more likely, a lot more apt or more willing to help you. Will be a lot more willing to make way, make clear your path. Because it's like, oh, now we're gaining, so now we're growing. Now this is growing, right? Or this is gaining experience, or this is gaining maturity. So when your higher self is thinking that way, well, we got to accommodate. So when you're manifesting things, don't manifest money. No, I mean, manifest feelings, manifest experiences, manifest those kinds of things that your higher self can feed off of. And if it's like, well, yeah, but I want that new Corvette. All right, that's fine. That's an experience. The car is a car. It's just a thing. But the experience, that exhilaration of driving that machine through the mountains or down the coast, U.S. Highway 1 down the coast of the east coast of Florida. Freaking beautiful. Beautiful. Some beautiful houses, and then you see the beach, and it's the palm trees and the waves crashing right there right there on the beach, right beside the highway, and that would be an experience. Yes, you and somebody you love in that beautiful Corvette going down Highway 1, A1A, maybe. Anyway, going down A1A, and it would be very nice. That would be an experience. But guess what? That would be an experience where you would be required. What it would take would be, it would take you getting that Corvette. Now, what would that take? That would take you having a lot of damn money. So all of that is a byproduct of that. Now, see, here's another thing that I've learned recently is that money likes to be spent. Money has a spirit on its own. Money does. It has a spirit. And money does not like to be squirreled away. Money likes to be spent. It likes to be put to good use. And it doesn't necessarily mean always on selfish gains and selfish reasons. But money does not like to just sit and be idle. And so when you manifest that experience and the money comes to buy that Corvette, you better buy the Corvette. It's like, yeah, man, but dude, I've never had that much money before, and I don't want to let go of it. That's how more money will come to you, is if you give it what it wants. It wants to be spent. And besides, you manifested this experience. You didn't manifest money. Don't go back on your word kind of thing. You know what I mean? Don't be like, yeah, if I get that money, I'm going to buy the Corvette and I'm going to drive it down the coast. It's going to be beautiful. Right. And it will be. But if you go and get it and then it's like, oop, I'm not doing that. I'm going to put this in the bank. And I'm not suggesting you go out and spend all your money. There is some wisdom to saving too. This is a whole different subject. I'm talking about manifesting an experience. That's all. That's what this is about. So, my tea's getting cold. It's still good though. I got cinnamon tea, cinnamon black tea, and I've got some good local honey in it too. It's really good. Some local farmer. It's raw, local honey. Very good for you. Wherever you live, try to find local raw honey because the bees in your area make that honey out of the flowers that are local in your area. And most people develop allergies to the flowers that are local in their area or whatever. But the bees do that, and somehow consuming that honey that's made from that pollen is what kind of gives you like an immunity to it. Plus, it's got a crap ton of antioxidants. It's just good for you. But make sure it's raw. I mean, local for the benefits of helping you have an immunity to the things that are local to your area. Raw because if it's not, then that means they've cooked the shit out of it, and now all of a sudden it's just all the nutritional value is just kind of gone. At that point, it's really just a sweetener. So there you go. Good grief, local raw honey. Yep. And I think I'm going to do this live stream for 30 minutes. Then I may take a break and come back and do another one right around the midnight time. And then I'm going to go to bed. And and then I will have an actual video up tomorrow. Although this one will be in my live streams. So there's that. Anywho, okay, so 2025 is, and another thing was like, well, the Pythagoreans and all those guys. The number 9 is, well, the Pythagoreans were not a fan of the number 9, but anyway, the number 9 in most other cultures is a big deal. But anyway, the number 9 is seen as a number of rebirth because it's 9 months for 9 months for for incubation for a baby to be incubated. So the number 9, because of the 9 months for pregnancy, is usually associated with rebirth. Anywho, so there's that. But with the whole transformation, it's mostly about, right now transforming into your best self. And the first thing you got to do is cut the dead weight. What are you kind of just dragging along? What's like a ball and chain? You're literally just shackled to your foot or your leg or whatever, and you're dragging it along, and it's really slowing you down. What is that? I highly recommend you get you a notebook out and get to writing. It's like, what am I doing? What is holding me back? It's probably something in your thought process. Probably discipline. Here, in my case, it's discipline as far as meditation during the day, and then not setting myself up for a programming while I am asleep. Now, I'll get into that, but I've got a video in the works for that, and I think that one may be Saturday, because the one for tomorrow, Wednesday, January 1, is going to be very similar to what I'm talking about now. But, okay, with the sleep cycle, when we go to sleep, okay, here's what I base this on, first of all. There's been a lot of people who say when they go to sleep, they say that they leave their bodies. They say they astral project, or they say they go into the astral, or they go somewhere, right? Now, what that means is their consciousness, their soul, their higher self, whatever, is free to. It's like, okay, the body is shut down. It is sleeping. It's restocking its chemicals in the brain. It's resting, doing all the things that it must do. But your higher self, your true self, doesn't have to do those things. So it's kind of free to, it's like, okay, well, cool. I don't have to worry about this right now. So I'm going to go and whatever that is. But the point is, a lot of people have said, when I'm asleep, I'm not even here. I'm off in somewhere. And a lot of people say that's our dream state and things like that. You know. But my point is, when your body, when your avatar kind of shuts down for the purpose of resting and all of that, and your consciousness detaches, that is when you can reprogram your reality. That's when coding can be, and for lack of a better term, coding or reprogramming or whatever can be installed into your life. That's when changes can be made. See, I do believe in doing affirmations and all of that, and broadcasting to the universe and all of those things I do. But I also believe that very important right before you go to sleep, to seriously focus on the things that you are doing in your life or manifesting for your life. And really letting that be your last thing you're thinking about. But it can't be, oh, I want a bunch of this, or I want that, or I want this. It's got to be, I am this, and I am that. And then you go to sleep, your consciousness detaches, and at that point, you are, when your consciousness reattaches and you boot back up in the morning when you wake. And I've kind of been noticing lately, I've started to notice when I get up and go to the bathroom a lot at night. I guess it's just part of getting older, but whatever. So, putting a lot out there, aren't I? Anyway, so it's like I've kind of been aware, like I am not fully here. And it's like, yeah, you're just groggy. Okay, fine. I'll go with you on that. That's true. I am kind of groggy and head's a little swimmy and things like that. But it almost feels like something's missing. Like it's like I'm not all there. Meaning my consciousness, my true higher self, is still detached. See, these avatars can go without it. And I know it's a touchy subject. Some people think it's controversial to mention NPCs, non-player characters, people who are humans and just like you and me. They don't have a soul. Dolores Cannon called them background characters or background people or whatever. And it's like, okay, they say there's 7 billion people on planet Earth, whatever. Like there may be 7 billion bodies, but I guarantee there's not 7 billion souls. But anyway, it's getting off the subject. So I've been noticing when I'm asleep that I do believe that my higher self is kind of detached. It's off doing whatever it goes and does. But yet my body has to get up and go to the bathroom. It's like, so I do. And I'm like, just kind of not all the way with it. And I try to get myself together, but really all I can do is just go to the bathroom and then go back to bed. So anyway, loved ones, I am going to cut this off because we're right at the 30-minute mark. I'm going to cut this off now. And I believe I will be back in about, I don't know. I'm going to go take a little break, get some more tea, and all that good stuff. And I will be back before the strike of midnight. And we can ding, 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 ring in the new year and all that stuff. And, and if you do see this and you don't see the other, definitely, if you don't have a reading habit, definitely start reading this new year. Make that absolutely, you got to do it. And if you're really considering like a lot of spiritual stuff, like $9 on Amazon, right there. That's the place to start. And then if you want to get really crazy, you can go all the way to that, the Corpus Hermeticum by Hermes Trismegistus. But anyway, I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll talk. We can go through the books here at some point. Here you go. Zoom in there. Anyway, Liber Chaos. That's a book about magic, and the dude is like a black magician, I believe. But it's an amazing description of the universe. It's an amazing description of cosmogenesis, how the universe began and how reality works. It really is unbelievable. So, anyway, loved ones, I will be back within 45 minutes. I'm going to do another live stream. I should have probably pushed this one back until like an hour so that I could have done this right up to the midnight hour. But anyway, loved ones, that's what I got for the moment. I do love you. Please like and subscribe. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel, please, if you have not. And share, if you would not mind. I would greatly appreciate that as well. So anyway, loved ones, I do love you. I really do. And I'm rooting for you. And I hope you're rooting for me. And I'll be back directly. I gotta find this button.